Your life isn't just a series of random events or a story written by luck. It's a story that was already scripted before your first breath, by a vast, timeless field of consciousness that holds the blueprint of everything you are, everything you've ever felt, and everything you've ever dreamed. This isn't fate, and it's not chance. It's something deeper, something ancient, an energetic ocean so expansive that it remembers every moment your soul has ever experienced. Imagine a space, call it what you will, that contains every thought, every intention, every karmic imprint of every soul that has ever walked the earth. It's so subtle, so quiet, that most never notice it. It's just beyond the veil of ordinary perception. You've felt it before, perhaps in moments of stillness during meditation, in the flash of déjà vu, or in dreams that seem more real than your waking hours. The ancients called it Akasha. Mystics understood it as intuition. Today, we call it the Akashic Records, but don't mistake it for something mystical or distant. This is the very architecture of your reality. You see, your soul has lived many lives, more than you can count, and those experiences are stored in this infinite field. They didn't vanish when you were born into this current life. No, they're still there, whispering truths and lessons that shape who you are today, even if you can't see them clearly. This field is like a vibrational library, an energy matrix that holds everything. Your actions, your thoughts, your feelings, your intentions, and every lesson your soul has come to learn. This isn't just a concept for the few who seek esoteric knowledge. It's the foundation of your existence. Every ancient tradition, from Indian cosmology to Egyptian mysticism, talks of a universal record, a divine memory that connects us all. The Sanskrit word for it, Akasha, means ether, the subtle essence from which all things emerge. It's the invisible thread weaving through all of creation, the field where divine intelligence flows and remembers. Throughout history, cultures have spoken of this place, whether it's the Hebrews' Book of Life, the Egyptian Hall of Records, or the Islamic Alawh al-Mahfuz. Modern thinkers, like Helena Blavatsky and Rudolf Steiner, described a field of collective memory that transcends our senses. They weren't inventing it, they were remembering it. And if you've ever had an inexplicable sense that you've been somewhere before, or that you know something without knowing how, you're sensing this very field. Deep down, your intuition knows that your soul has existed across countless lifetimes. It knows that the fears, talents, and emotional reactions you carry, sometimes for no apparent reason, are echoes of something older. You're not just your current circumstances. You're a living archive of your soul's journey. Patterns repeat because they're part of a larger curriculum, designed for growth, for understanding, for evolution. And here's the truth. Until you become aware of those patterns, they keep playing out, unconsciously, like loops. But the records are a map back to your true self. They hold the keys, answers about your purpose, your gifts, your challenges. When you access this field consciously, you begin to unravel the stories that have been running your life. You start to see that your purpose isn't something you have to invent. It's something you remember, something you've always known deep inside. Most people don't realize that these records aren't hidden away in some secret vault. They're not locked behind rituals or guarded by mystics. They are within you, embedded in your very consciousness, waiting patiently to be rediscovered. You don't need special permission or a mystical password. All you need is the willingness, quieting your mind, opening your heart, and tuning into the frequency of truth. The records respond to sincerity, to genuine intent. They don't favor the privileged or the enlightened. They respond to your openness and your readiness. So the real question isn't, can I access the records? It's, what happens when I do? Because once you start to listen, once you begin to remember, your entire perception shifts. Long before this idea became known as the Akashic Records, wise beings across cultures knew of this place. They returned from it with messages written in light, words that transcended language, truths that vibrated directly into the soul. They knew it wasn't a physical book, but a vibrational realm, a place where the soul's deepest memories are stored and guarded, not by walls, but by frequencies that only those with the right intent can perceive. In Tibetan mysticism, it's called the mind stream, a flowing consciousness that moves through all lifetimes. The ancient Druids, Mayans, Gnostics, and Egyptians all had their names for this infinite field, different words for the same understanding, that existence itself is a vast web of remembrance, a collective consciousness that never forgets what happened to this knowledge. It was pushed underground, dismissed as superstition, rebranded as magic, or silenced by those who feared its power. Because if the soul can remember, then the control systems lose their grip. The idea that your true power lies within, beyond external authority, is dangerous to those who want to keep you small and obedient. Throughout history, colonizers and oppressors tried to erase this memory, demonizing ancient ceremonies, burning sacred texts, silencing shamans and elders. They wanted to disconnect us from the innate knowing that exists within your own being. And still, today, in the age of science and skepticism, many dismiss the records as mere fantasy. But they can't explain why children remember past lives, or why universal symbols and themes appear across cultures, despite distance and time, describing the same soul truths. Because the records aren't something outside of you, they're an extension of your very being. They're the living, breathing blueprint of your soul's evolution, and they hold the key to understanding your true purpose, beyond the stories you've been told. They show you patterns, gifts, and wounds that you've carried through lifetimes. They reveal the lessons you're here to learn, and the contracts you made before incarnating. These contracts are not fixed. Think of them as agreements for growth, designed to catalyze your evolution. Sometimes they come as difficult relationships, unexpected challenges, or lessons that push you out of your comfort zone. But they're not punishments, they're opportunities. The records allow us to glimpse these agreements, not so we can escape pain, but so we can understand their purpose. They're mirrors of transformation, revealing how your struggles are part of your grand design. When you access this knowledge consciously, you start to see your challenges differently. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and begin asking, "What is this teaching me?" Patterns that once felt like obstacles become clues, breadcrumbs guiding you back to your true self. With awareness, you can rewrite the stories that no longer serve you, empowering yourself to choose differently, to heal what's been broken, and to step into your full power. And here's the magic. Your gifts, your talents, your passions, even your spiritual abilities are encoded in this field. The desire to heal, to teach, to create, these aren't random. They're echoes of your soul's purpose, waiting for you to remember. When you understand your unique blueprint, comparison melts away. You realize that everyone's journey is different, and there's no need to rush or imitate. Your path is sacred, and your timing is perfect. Knowing your true blueprint dissolves the illusion of separation. It reminds you that your growth is intertwined with everyone else's, like threads in a tapestry. When you heal your own patterns, you ripple that healing outward. When you remember who you are, you help others remember too. This isn't just about individual awakening. It's a collective rising, an awakening that transforms the entire fabric of humanity. The system wants you to believe you're isolated, powerless, and disconnected. But the truth is far different. You are part of an interconnected web of consciousness, where every action, every thought, every intention creates a ripple, affecting the whole. When you clear your karmic patterns, you don't just free yourself, you free your lineage, your ancestors, and future generations. Because when enough of us wake up, the entire world shifts. This is why awakening is so threatening to the powers that be. A person who remembers their true power cannot be controlled. They no longer chase external validation or conform to outdated rules. They start to create new ways, new systems rooted in sovereignty, in truth, in love. They raise children differently, build communities based on authenticity, and see the world through new eyes. And gradually, the old structures crumble, not with destruction, but with relevance. Their grip weakens because fewer people feed the illusion. The idea that worth is earned, that life is an endless race for reward. These fall away as people begin to trust themselves again. They realize that true fulfillment isn't found outside. They carry it within, embedded in their own soul's blueprint. So what if the question isn't, who am I, but who have I always been? What if the real adventure is remembering that you're an infinite being, a cosmic traveler with a story that spans galaxies and ages? When you tune into this deeper part of yourself, you realize your power isn't something to chase, it's something to reclaim. And the records aren't a distant, mystical library. They're your own inner truth waiting to be unlocked. You don't need permission, special rituals, or even a label. All you need is presence, quieting the mind, listening beyond the noise, and trusting what rises from within. When you do, you'll find that the answers you seek have been inside you all along, waiting for you to remember. This isn't about going somewhere new, it's about returning home, back to the conversation your soul has been trying to have with you since the beginning. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every moment of doubt is a clue, a breadcrumb guiding you back to your true essence. The more you listen, the clearer the path becomes, and the more you remember, the more your life begins to shift, not through grand gestures, but through subtle, profound changes. Your words, your choices, your boundaries, everything begins to align with your truth. You start to see the world differently, less with judgment, more with compassion, less with control, more with trust. You see, your purpose isn't something you have to invent, it's something you've always carried, an echo of your soul's original blueprint. And when you remember that, your life transforms into a powerful expression of who you truly are. You become a living testament to the infinite, to the unbreakable, to the eternal. So if this message stirs something inside you, know that you're already on the path. The records are within your reach, waiting patiently. All you have to do is turn inward, quiet the noise, and listen. Because the next chapter of your story isn't outside, it's inside, waiting for you to remember who you really are and to step into your fullest, brightest self. Your journey back to yourself begins now. Remember, you're not lost. You're simply waking up.